Okay, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing? What's up, Gravinder, Andrew, Ginger, G Money? How you guys doing? I hope you guys had a blessed Monday. What's up, Ricky? And remember, guys, remember to like and share the video if you guys find value. I mean, we want to help as many people as possible, especially with what's coming in the economy. You guys are getting a little hint of it. I'm telling you right now, the stock market preludes everything. It doesn't matter what you hear in the news, what happening around the world. If you see something happening in the stock market like severe sell-offs, it's usually a sign of things to come, especially with oil that high, wheat that high. You're going to see even the loaves of bread at your local grocery store are going to be like triple, quadruple price very, very soon. So just help us help as many people as possible. You guys seen what we do in here. We're positioned very well for this down day today. As most of you know, I hope you guys listened and carried over some puts or even caught some today. But huge down day. It looked like very programmed, controlled selling. What's up, Darsh? SPY down almost 3% today. That's a big figure, guys. 3% down in an index like SPY is a big down day. And as you see here, almost no bounce lasted more than 10-15 minutes. Not even like back up to support. Like usually when we dump like this, we can get at least a bounce to the previous resistance or something. Nothing. Maybe 20-30 cent bounce and then straight down again. Flat, no bounce, down again. Flat, no bounce, down again. So it's very controlled, programmed. Like this is big money selling, I think, or algos are selling and no one's buying. What's up, Kazalins? How you doing? I don't know what that says, but okay. Um, Personally had a great Monday. I know a lot of people at MSL did as well. We were holding a lot of the same puts. Other than that, overall on SPY right now, it's very obvious we're going through long-term consolidation. I mean, you can scroll it to the weekly. When SPY breaks the 50-day on the weekly in a controlled fashion, what I mean by controlled is it goes down, it bounces, and then it goes down further. That means there was people buying the dip here thinking it's the bottom, came back up and rolled back over. This COVID, I do not count it as controlled selling. This was just a big panic sell. So this is not even a correction in my eyes. The last correction was 2018, and that's what I look for reference when I'm trying to figure out what's happening next. And as you see here, we had a big dump on the weekly. We battled from underneath with the 50-day for weeks and weeks, almost 2 months, I think. And then we finally got our last flush and bottom in the market. And it's very similar. If you guys notice, very, very similar pattern trying to happen here. Dump down. Once we close the week below the 50-day, we've been under the 50-day. So what I expect now is, even on the next, what's up, Gravesh? How you doing, bro? Haven't seen you in a while. Even on the next bounce, if we get a big bounce before Powell, which is on 15th, 16th of March, I think next week, I don't think we'll get back over the 50-day moving average, which is at 440. So 440 probably caps any kind of huge rally if it even happens, which I don't know if it happens after today. I don't know if it happens, especially with the daily looking like this after a week like this. It's not bouncing at all, guys. So let's see what happens. We have inflation numbers on the 10th. That's another thing that'll probably throw a wrench on any type of rally that the market makes. I think the inflation numbers are going to be very hot. Macro wise, we are screwed. I'm not joking. We are screwed. Not us as traders. We'll rinse any type of market, but as an economy as a whole, I think we're in for a long term of pain because the Fed in 2018 wasn't facing inflation. They weren't facing a world war. All they had to do was raise interest rates. The market dumped, forced them not to raise interest rates. This time they have no option. They have to raise interest rate. If they don't raise interest rate, inflation is going to be at like 20%. Yeah, Turkey. So QQQ, much of the same. Super dirty chart. You guys see very toppy pattern here. Rolled over. Lost all the moving averages. Weekly as well. We got a death cross on the daily. Weekly as well. Very, very ugly. Well below the 50-day moving average. If they want to hold it. COVID lows hit the 200-day moving average, guys. I told you I don't really count the COVID lows because it was more of a panic sell more than a controlled sell. But even in 2018, the 200-day was at 133. We got down to 143, so about $10 above the 200-day. If we go that low this time, the 200-day moving average is at 253. We would get around 263, which would be here. Obviously, it's just guessing. There's no exact science to this. I'm just telling you. If we get the worst case scenario, I think we go very close to that 200-day on the weekly on QQQ. So keep an eye on that level. XLF absolutely destroyed. Looks one of the worst right now. Why do I say worst? Those SPY and QQQ are lower, but XLF has just broken down. We're not that far off all-time highs, and I believe XLF has a lot. When you guys see heavy selling in banks, there's really something wrong with the economy. And there's heavy selling in banks. Look at last week's volume. They're selling with both hands on XLF. So keep an eye on the banks for any type of bounce events. I'll probably get short again. IWM, another disaster case. Death cross happened way back on January 18th. And look at the action since. There have been little bounces here and there, but generally the trend is down. So like I said on the newsletter, like I said last week, right now you want to be swinging put trades and scalping calls. VIX is not giving up an inch, guys. We're holding this little support line all the way up, and we ended with a hammer candle today as well. The only resistances left on VIX is 38 and then $40, 39. 38 and 39 is all that's left on VIX before it makes a yearly high. If we do get back up there, I mean, the market's not going to look pretty. Unless the VIX reverses quick and some kind of volatility leaves the market, this market's in for more pain. And we'll go into some plays here. We had these Etsy 150s. I know Bookie had 150s and 140s. This guy's a monster. I took the 150s, I think, here on March 3rd. Was selling them for 15 today, but it still looks like Etsy has more downside. The only reason I sold was because 3 straight big red days. Today was an almost negative 10% day on Etsy, so maybe a little tiny bounce. I'm thinking we bounce after we fill the gap all the way to 129.80. That's why I kept a couple of runners. But other than that, great trade. You have to be happy with your profits at some point. You can't let trades go back if you have a lot of profits. I mean, look at the stochastics, guys. The stochastics show that this daily move is just starting on Etsy. The last time stochastics were up here, look at where we went. We went from here on November 26th at 307. By the time the stochastics reset, we were down to 220 bucks. So a drop of $90 on Etsy the last time stochastics were up here. And they're right back there. So if it plays out the same way, Etsy will go and lose these lows from February 24th Invasion Day, which is at 109. So Etsy might go down to around 100 bucks, guys. This one will have more juice in it. I'm waiting, like maybe we get a little tiny bounce so I can re-enter on a lower strike. EA was the one trade I took in the last 2 weeks. I think that didn't work. The setup was there. Technically head and shoulders breakdown last Friday. It held under, back tested. This morning, the market was absolutely dumping, but EA was going up. So I was like, why am I going to waste my time in a put that's not going to work? I'll sell it for a small loss. I'll get into something else that does work. And what I did was I sold this one for about a negative, I think, 12% loss. And then I took that money and I put it in Mamba's call out for Baidu puts. And those went 25%, 30% in like an hour. So we got the money right back. No big deal. Other than that, EA still looks bad. I don't know why it held up today. There's still a little doji here on the daily. I do think we go lower. But let's see how it moves, because today the action tells me that there's some news coming out on EA soon, so I'd rather get out of it. We'll see what happens. CLF was forming an ugly daily reversal candle. It kind of ended with a doji up here. Dojis do mark trend changes usually. What's up, Saab? How you doing? So huge run up. Doji candle usually marks a reversal. Let's see if we get a down day tomorrow, which would confirm the reversal. And then we can look for adding onto those CLF puts for April, which are down about 15% right now. It's good to hear, Gravish. Yeah, I'll get to target sub. Enjoy, bro. So CLF, we need confirmation tomorrow. Another red day tomorrow should confirm that the trend has changed back in the favor of the bears. And as you guys see here, after a huge run, it usually puts in a doji and reverses right back down. Right here, doji, right back down. Right here, doji. Do we get the same reaction? That's what we're waiting for on CLF. We need to see confirmation tomorrow. Shopify, another put play I gave you this morning. 585 was the low of February 24th. And as soon as we broke it, I was about to take it. But then puts were a little bit expensive. Tesla was still up this morning, which kind of threw me off. But then when Tesla reversed, it was very obvious it was a downtrend all day. Broke through the 585, went straight down all the way to 560. So you got a 25-point move on Shopify very quickly, and then just chopped around and killed everyone's premium all day. So keep an eye on Shopify as well. If we get a bounce on Shopify to 585, I'll be looking to reshort it. BNS. So this is the first time I've ever I've played almost every single, like not every single, but I played a lot of names in the market. One thing I've never played is the Canadian banks. So one thing I seen was American banks are so weak, economy is weak, whatever. Canada's not much better. We have inflation here. We have all the same issues here. So why wouldn't I short Canadian banks, right? First of all, you have a little head and shoulders here on BNS. This is the first thing I seen. Obviously, the neckline's not too clear, but it looks like a clear topping pattern. We made a top, went and took it out by a few cents, completely reversed, and then we went and tried it again, and we completely reversed again. Daily is an inverted hammer to the downside with big selling volume. This is key, guys. What is going on with my mouse? So this is a very key thing when increased selling volume and that inverted hammer to the downside breaking the 50-day and all the other moving averages. Very bearish setup in my opinion. The second thing that made me take BNS was if you look at BNS here on the weekly, we're still right near all-time highs, guys. This is a right topping pattern, right near all-time highs. If you compare it to TD Bank, for my fellow Canadians out there, you guys know, very close banks. They both have a lot of branches. TD Bank has rolled over already. It's already started. So if TD Bank is looking like this after this same type of topping pattern, why would BNS stay up here, right? That's my thinking behind it. Let's see where it goes. I'm looking for at least a little gap fill down here to 69.50. 69.50 would give us a gap fill down here. Other than that, the puts will probably be 200, 300%. And let's take it and leave it. EWT, I seen a huge flow on this one today. This is the ETF for Taiwan. When you see big flow in certain things, like if you see big flow in LMT calls or LMT puts, that means a war is on or a war is off. These big, it's all about money. Everything is about money. Big money always knows before us. You see LMT, big money calls, that usually means a war is going to start. You see LMT, big money puts, that usually means a war is going to end. And Taiwan, China, everyone's well aware of the drama there. So when I seen those puts, I had to get in. I got two layers of them. First of all, there's a catalyst, which is China attacking Taiwan. Like, I mean, I'm never for war, but if it's going to happen, we might as well profit off it, right? So the weekly is completely disgusting. We held the 50-day moving average all the way up since COVID. Finally broke down last week and continuation with a big gap down this week. So last week we closed at 62.50. This week we opened at under 61. So the weekly chart is completely broken. You look at the Bollinger Bands as well. It wasn't on this. Where was it? Daily MACD has crossed down. We are completely outside the Bollinger Bands. It might need 1 or 2 days sideways before we break down again. That's why I have September's and April's. And other than that, if China does anything to Taiwan, these are going to fly, absolutely go crazy. And we broke this major weekly support. Next support is down here at 55 bucks. Marvell. So one thing I want to do before I get into your guys' charts, Marvell, we called it out at 65 this morning. Semiconductors are all going to get hit. So Russia makes almost, I think, 80% of the neon. Neon is something that they need to use. It's a material they need to use in semiconductor chips to make them. No, Ukraine. Ukraine has all the neon. And Taiwan produces, I think, 60% of the world's semiconductors. So if China goes into Taiwan again, semiconductors are going to be in trouble. Looking at all these charts, it's very obvious the market thinks that China is going to invade Taiwan, and they realize the neon issue that's going on right now. Look at Marvell. If Marvell takes out the February 24th low of $61, under 61, Marvell probably goes a lot lower. I'm seeing 61, then goes to 56-ish at least, and it's the same pattern over and over. Big downfall, consolidation, bear flag, roll over. Now, little bear flag, and now it's trying to roll over again. Look at Marvell, look at AMD. These are the strongest companies in the world, and they're getting destroyed. There's more to this downtrend than you guys think. This is not a normal correction. Nvidia, one of the best companies in the world, getting destroyed. LRCX destroyed. Look at LRCX. These are some of the strongest companies in the world with the most demand in the world for semiconductors. MU just absolutely crushed. MU is actually trading super cheap right now. If MU goes under 70 bucks, I'm going to buy some equity. I don't care where the market's at. I think the PE is like 8 or 9 something on MU. So that's one to keep an eye on. On is another one. ASML has a monopoly in making chips, and look at how they're getting destroyed. I mean, all these companies, when the market does clear up a little bit or start to base, I think I'm going to start taking positions in a lot of chip companies because chip companies aren't going anywhere. Other than that, let's go over Target. He said first. Target, I called out a short last week. I didn't take it myself. I'm short a lot of stuff right now. I don't want to just keep jam packing my portfolio packed with puts. We had a big gap up for earnings. It had good earnings, went sideways, held the gap for 3 days, and then today was a reversal day. Almost 6% down, closed below all the moving averages. And I think Target is a surefire gap fill down to 201. So this is a very good put play in my opinion. Tomorrow, if we take out today's low, I think it goes straight to 201. So a $10 move should get you a big move in the options on Target as well. If we bounce from here, we're going to have resistance above at the 21-day moving average, which is 212. 8-day moving average at 214, and then the 50-day moving average is at 217. So it's going to have a hard time getting back up to where it was pre-today. And if it breaks today's low, it's probably going to go for that gap to 201. Walmart is another retail you got to keep an eye on. Weekly resistance here, guys. A lot of insider selling. Weekly little down channel here with a very strong support around 134, 133-ish. And it looks like we started off the week with a rejection. If tomorrow we have a red day on Walmart, it's more than likely going back down to the support at 135. Other than that, we got Tesla. As always, Tesla. I should just have it on my screen anyways. Tesla has a key. So today, obviously Tesla weak with the rest of the market. In the morning, Tesla was tricking me because it was green while the rest of the market was dumping. Look at this. Tesla was above the zone. And then look at the dump that came after. I did call, I like Tesla short up here. I hope some guys capitalize. I know Cordell hit it. And I think Mamba maybe. But other than that, Tesla's super weak at the end of the day. Just complete downtrend. And one thing, the only thing you have to watch on Tesla this week is this Friday we need to close above 807, or now it's at 811. So Tesla has held the 50-day moving average on every single dip since it started this run. 50-day moving average is this teal kind of line here. Back here we held it in March 2020. That was even during COVID we held the 50-day moving average on Tesla. May, June, July, August, September held the 50-day even though the market was going through it. And then last 2 weeks ago held it. Yet last week held it even through this insane market weakness. And today we are sitting at 804. So if Tesla doesn't close the week above 811, that trend is gone. Once we close below the 50-day, I think Tesla has a huge downside coming. I think this 50-day is very, very important for Tesla this week. On Friday, we need to close above it, or we get a big downside move on Tesla as well. EA, yeah, it was bad price action. Other than that, no worries, guys. I hope you guys had a great day. Don't be stubborn. I mean, the trend is down. Let's play puts. Let's make money, right? We don't need to fight the trend. We don't need to do anything. If you're playing calls, it's only for scalps, in my opinion. Anything oversold, you can scalp it for 20-30%. But puts, I'm very comfortable holding overnight. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed today, and I will see you tomorrow.